Yo, what's up, homies? I just had a brainwave and I've decided what we're gonna build next. It's kind of something that just randomly popped in my head. I don't really know where the idea came from, but we're gonna go up not to our waterfall, a little bit past the waterfall and, you know, the treehouse and all of that stuff. And we're gonna address the source of this water up here, but also do a little bit of building over there. So, the idea that I've got in mind involves getting rid of that. Actually, you know what? Let's just go do that right now. We gotta get up there and take care of that thing. Wow, that was quick. Now, the idea that I have in mind is taking this and going right up that way a little bit further into the wall somewhere up there. But then also, I feel like it would be kind of cool to have an abandoned railway back here. So I figure maybe we'll make a tunnel that goes in the mountain right here, and then the rail line can come out this way and kind of, you know, go straight along here. And it's not going to go forever. I do want to like break it off and, you know, just return the land to how it originally was. But yeah, essentially we're going to come this way and kind of start wrapping it around here. If we get to the turn, maybe we won't get here and we'll just kind of kill it off right around this area or something. But yeah, so an abandoned railway with a tunnel right here and then a bridge leading over the water that will be going under it. I think that might be kind of cool having that right up here. And that of course means the remainder of these trees are going to have to come down. So let's get to it. The trees have been cleared, and now it is time to build our, whatever this thing's called. Wow. I actually just blanked on beacon. I mean, what is wrong with me? But yeah, the beacon is up, so we can begin digging into the mountain, which, where are we gonna do this, and how big? I guess I should have, you know, planned it a little bit better than I have. Well, I guess I could start by at least clearing out this dirt to go off the rock wall. And of course, don't worry, it's going to look absolutely dreadful for now, but we do have a lot of building and terraforming and all of the good stuff to do. And, you know, I'm actually very excited for that. So I think we'll leave it at that height so that it can match up with this right here. And then this little bit we might dig out. Ooh, or do we keep that? I don't know. I think maybe we will go... What the? Why did all those mushrooms just explode when I placed that dirt? What was that all about? But yeah, I think I might bring this over a little bit and fill it in with the dirt that we just got. Hopefully I have enough, which, you know, probably won't. I did! And then we'll make the tunnel at this height. And that way it'll come out, the bridge will be a little bit further off the ground, and maybe we'll just span it right over to that level. Or we can build up the ground. You know, we got options. Regardless, it's going to be pretty fun, whatever we end up doing. Now, I think we have to do it 5 blocks wide just so that we have some room to do rails and then also other stuff around it. I'm hoping it'll work out like that, but we are going to have to go up another probably 2 blocks this way just so that we have enough height. Don't worry, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to trains. I've had quite a few train layouts in my day, but yeah, so I kind of know what I'm doing, but not really. And I'm wondering if we should go right up against the wall like that. That might be kind of cool. Then we could build like a stone wall right here to hold the earth back. And I do kind of like that idea. And then we could do the rails like here, and we might be able to get a little bit bigger scale out of that now. Yeah, I do think that's a good size for the tunnel entrance. And then, of course, it'll be shaped a little bit differently, but we got to get to digging first. So let's start clearing some stone, why don't we? So we've got a tunnel started, and we also did a little bit of water, rewatering. And, yeah, so, that was bad. So, yeah, we got a tunnel going here. We're pretty deep into the mountain. I don't know if we're going to go deeper than that, though, because we may just do, like, some dark back here so that it kind of fades into the mountain. I have a cool idea, though, actually. There will be an end, but it won't just be that. There will be, like, an interesting idea for the end of it. And then, yeah, we did the waterfall. I think it's pretty much going to stay just like this. But then we're going to go back and, you know, terraform around it like we always do. But, yeah, we've got it started. And I think what we're going to do now is get going on the bridge. So that's going to be fun, designing that thing and, you know, hoping it looks like a bridge, like an old school train bridge, I should say. Obviously made out of wood and logs since it's old and abandoned, so, you know, it can't be some high-tech iron thing, which, you know, is there anything that these iron blocks are useful for with building? I mean, they're kind of terrible. Or is it just me? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't like them. But yeah, let's get some wood out from our... Oh, wow, look at that. Clicked on the right one right away. getting good at this. So yeah, we got some logs, and then what else are we gonna need? Maybe, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna grab planks. We got logs for that. So we're gonna build the frame of this thing, and I guess the frame of it should go under where the rails are going to be, because, you know, that's probably where a lot of the weight would be from a train crossing it. So I think it might make sense if we do that. So we'll just spam some logs and interchange the two that we always use, the spruce and the dark oak. Dark oak. I was hoping to remember before I switched to it, which I couldn't do because my brain is simply not very good. And I'm sure I've said it before, but this is strictly only so that, you know, when you look at it from afar, it's not just one solid color, because, you know, logs never look the same all the way through. And yeah, I feel like maybe this works. I hate this. Gotta switch the, oh, that's not an axe. Gotta switch this up a little bit. These two were directly across from each other, and you know how I hate symmetry or uniformity, or is that a word? Uniformity? Well, it is now. And yeah, so that's kind of where I was going with that. I think now it looks pretty decent, and now that I'm looking at it, if it's an old abandoned train bridge, then it's probably not still gonna have bark on it, right? So do I strip it? The only issue with that is if I strip it, then it's gonna be two very drastically different colors. I think I may actually just do dark oak and then some dark oak planks mixed in. But of course the dark oak will be stripped, so yeah, maybe we'll just take out all of the spruce, and I should have just taken the whole thing down and started over. What am I doing? And now that we're stripping it, I think I am liking this a little bit better. I think the planks stand out a little bit, but at the same time, it's almost like it was just like a little patch job. So I think I might switch these around. What the heck was that jump? Yeah, switch them around like that, because it would make a little bit more sense if there were just some planks, you know, mixed in. Maybe the log was deteriorated. I don't know. I'm just thinking, okay? Now we somehow have to come up with the legs for this thing. Not really too sure how I'm going to go about this, because, you know, usually on train trestles, they're kind of, they're kind of like pretty close together with, like, you know, this, and yeah, you can't really do that in Minecraft very well, can you? So I think what we will start with is just something over here by the water. I think maybe we'll do something over here and then over here, so that there's a little bit of a gap between the two closest to the water. And then obviously we've got to mirror them on the backside, and I don't know how often to place them for the rest of this run. Let's see, what was this, 4 blocks? Maybe we'll just keep doing 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like there. 1, 2, 3, 4, like there. And I kind of don't like that. You know, I feel like the big span, even though it's only 4 blocks, should be just over the water, and then the rest of them should be a little closer together. So what if we did 2 blocks kind of like that instead? All right, let's just, you know, finish them up just to see what it would look like. And I actually do like that quite a bit better. We obviously have to strip them, maybe add in some planks here and there. I don't know if we're going to do that on the legs, though. So, you know, now it'll look a little bit like this, and then we'll probably try and add some extra bracing in there. Like, what if we... Ooh, let me grab some of these, which luckily I already have made. And yeah, what if we add like a little bit of extra bracing in like this? I mean, I don't really hate it, to be honest, but I think I'm going to take it out for now and just see what it looks like once we get the rails up on top. If it feels like it needs a little bit extra, you know, support underneath it, we could always go back and add them in, obviously. But for now, I want to add some cross beams, and I just changed my mind yet again, as I seem to do quite often during these videos. The perks of not planning anything, I guess. You just get to change and wing it however you feel like it. Maybe that's not exactly a blessing. So I think what I'm going to do is sneak in there that way. That was interesting. And I'm just going to give it a deck all the way across. And I'm almost out of slabs, because of course I am. All right, so the deck is pretty much set up here, and I'm actually not hating it. It's not too bad. I think it is actually going a little bit straight, though, and we did want to start kind of curving a little, but we can always mess with that at another time. Maybe we'll just go straight this way and into the trees that way. I don't know. We have options. But now we've got to put some rails up here, and we're going to try the anvil technique. And, oh, this is going to be noisy. Let me just do this, and then we'll come back. And while we've got a break in the action getting some more out... oh, never mind. All right, well, what I was going to say is thankfully, I have that iron farm back home. This would have taken a long time to get all these anvils built if I didn't, but yeah, so we have some rails. And now I think what I want to do is kind of trim this back a little bit. Maybe different lengths to make it look like the rails are just kind of broken. And I guess I should do the longer one on the back so that you could see both of them though, shouldn't I? There, I think we'll leave it something like that. And then we can fade it into the woods using some gravel, like what would be under rail lines to begin with, like ballast, you know? But now we can throw some ties on here and see if we can make it look like a train track. So it's gonna kind of be like this. Oop, not like that. Now these will be our ties. And we're going to do every other, just like this, and hopefully we can get this whole thing without messing up. And we instantly messed up. Don't know why I even jinx myself at this point. And then maybe we'll even have like a couple extra ties up here, or maybe not full ties, but, you know, broken-ish ties, like, oh, that is where the rail line ended. All right, and we have ties in, and it kind of looks like some rails, doesn't it? But I think what we're going to do is take these out. And now I can't get out. Because I feel like there needs to be a gap in here, you know? We don't want this to be a safe bridge. We need this to be a sketchy old bridge that nobody would ever go across. And now that I'm kind of looking at this thing as is, I'm happy we didn't do the extra row of what are they called? Slabs underneath that. I think that might have looked a little funky. But this I'm pretty happy with, actually. I mean, this kind of looks like a train track. I'm actually pretty excited about this. And we do have to do the ties inside the tunnel as well, which will be a little bit easier because we have ground to place them on. And there we go. We have our track going all of the way into the tunnel. And man, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with this. Oh yeah, I guess we could take this thing down since we're not really doing much digging anymore. So now I want to give this a little bit of a better tunnel entrance, I guess we could call it. Actually, do I have to go up further now that we have rails up here? I think I have to go up another block higher. So as it turns out, that beacon could have been useful. And actually, now that I think about it, we're probably gonna have to go up and wider. Actually, no, probably not. I was gonna say we're gonna do like cobblestone stuff, but I think we'll just. Okay, I think we'll just do some patches of it here and there. Maybe some spots of the tunnel have collapsed, like, you know, how this kind of just did. All right, we have it one block higher, and I think that is going to be enough room to make a proper-sized, something. I almost just spoiled it. But you know what? Why don't we just build it? I mean, let's just get to it. So, we're going to build a train car back here, and it's kind of going to be... What? We're going to build a train car down here, an old-style wooden boxcar, and then the tunnel is going to be collapsed on part of it. So that is going to be how the tunnel ends, not just a boring wall. So I figure maybe we'll start it like right out here somewhere, and then we will run it back. Let's see, how far should we go? I think I want to have it collapsed like... Actually, this might be a pretty good distance. I kind of only want the end of it to be sticking out just a little bit. I don't really want to have like the full-on boxcar in here. So maybe we'll go to like here-ish. I think that could work. And then for the walls, they're going to be made out of spruce trapdoors, you know, for that old school wooden look. And I think we'll go up 3 levels for now. See if that's tall enough. I might actually have to go up one more, but we'll see how it looks. Yeah, we definitely have to go up a little further. Let's see. Yeah, that's actually looking like a more proper height. So let's take a peek and... Ooh, yeah, that's gonna work nicely. Ooh, I'm excited for this. So now that we've got the front wall on, you can kind of see that it looks a little bit like a boxcar. I mean, I guess. I suppose we should probably add the wheels in, which are just gonna be some upside down, what are these things called? Grindstones. Upside down grindstones. And then, of course, we have to have a ladder going up the side because all boxcars have a ladder going up the side. And now up here for the roof, I think what we will do is not that. Slabs going across just like this. And there we go. We've got our makeshift boxcar, which looks a little rough right now. Hopefully we can make it look a little bit better with some more details. I got to figure out what to do for a coupler right here. And I also think I do want to do another car in front of it. And I think for that and the rest of this build, we're going to time lapse. So let's go. I actually had to force myself to stop building and, you know, kind of end the video. So this is what we've ended up with. And then a little something down here that we'll get into that's unrelated to this. But yeah, I kind of just kept going. But look at this. So if we're going for an old abandoned rail line, let's go along the checklist. Rail line, check. Does it look abandoned? Check. Old? I don't... I mean, there's grass? Sure, I guess. But yeah, this is our old abandoned railway heading into the mountain in our nice tunnel portal. So let's get into looking around this thing, why don't we? And I guess we'll start right down here by, you know, our pathway. And all right, you know what? Screw it. We're going all the way down and starting from the beginning. So this bridge right here used to just, you know, cross our little stream and end. And then once I was happy with the rail line, I decided that I wanted there to be, you know, a more scenic walkway coming up through here. So this hill that used to just come down nicely right to this level, I did a little bit of a change. Yeah, so now there's a little bit of a cliff here. And the walkway just kind of goes right under it nice and wraps around up along the water over here. And then we wrap right around this way and we come up to the broken and battered end of the rail line. So yeah, that is kind of what I got sucked into working on rather than finishing the video. And yeah, now we got this nice cliff here, but I feel like it was worth it. I mean, it kind of looks pretty cool, I think. And it's one thing that I really want to get better at is, you know, I always tend to just use the vanilla landscape and, you know, make it look all overgrown like this, but I really should get into my own landscapes and, you know, building into the land and, you know, changing it up quite a bit, you know, something like this. So I think I got to start doing that a little bit more. But anyways, back to the build that the video is about that has nothing to do with that. Yeah, so the abandoned rail line. Well, down on this end, I know we already pointed it out, but we end the rails and it kind of fades into the forest. And yeah, it's kind of overgrown down here where it could be. I mean, it does kind of end up being a bridge, so there could only be so much growth. But we also ended up building some trees along the cliff face, and I wanted to do more down here, but that kind of interfered with, you know, the thumbnail. Yeah, so that had to wait, and then I didn't get to it. I probably should, actually. I think it would look a little bit better if this was, you know, completely hidden in the forest. But, hey, who knows? Maybe we'll build, like, an old abandoned building here to go along with the rail trestle. Yeah, that might have to happen. But, yeah, then over here we go across the water and the waterfall. And, you know, we got some trees up here, like I just stated. But in here, I am very, very excited for this part. I mean, the walls are a little plain. I could have done a little bit more in there, but we have a couple rail cars abandoned in a tunnel. So the first one right here is an old style wooden gondola, or gondola, you know, depending on how you pronounce that one. It's still perfectly on the rails in pristine shape, still even coupled to our boxcar, who unfortunately has fallen victim to the collapse of the tunnel. All the way around this thing, down throughout the bottom and over the top, the tunnel has just collapsed right over it, and this is now the end of our tunnel. This car luckily survived it all. And oh, and up here, I did a little bit of deep slate up here because I don't know if you've ever noticed, but train tunnels, they always seem to have a stain up here from the exhaust from the locomotives. So I tried to mimic that a little bit with the darker color blocks, and yeah, who knows? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I think I'm gonna keep it though. And then of course we had to go super overgrown with everything around here. You know, the bushes going up the mountain, the trees, you know, everything down here, the vines. Wow, the vines are going nuts, and it's perfect because, you know, abandoned, overgrown, and yeah, it looks pretty abandoned, I would say. So I think we kind of nailed that. And I know I've said it about 1,000,000 times already, but I love the two tall ferns. I mean, they might be the perfect foliage in Minecraft. You add those in and it just feels wild. It feels overgrown. It feels like forest. I mean, look at this. Look at all of the two tall ferns. they kind of make the scene. I mean, this is a perfect forest scene. He says just after saying he forgot to build trees. Yeah, oops. But it'll get treed. Don't worry, it'll get treed. And I'm actually really liking this idea of having an old abandoned building right in here somewhere. Oh, I'm excited to keep going now. But yeah, so this is our abandoned railway in the side of the mountain, and I'm in love with it. Granted, I do love trains, and I do love, you know, mountains and wilderness, but I mean, somehow getting this to come to life in Minecraft was very, very rewarding. I'm feeling very good about this one. And then, of course, our extra bit that we did down here that we didn't have to do and just extended the video a little bit. But yeah, we got that too, and you know, I like this. I like this a lot. But that, ladies and jellyfish, is where we're going to call this one. This was a ton of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I did building it. And as usual, thank you for the continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and share. You know, actually, this one might go well with your grandfather this time since it involves trains. But anyways, I love you guys so much, and we will see you next time. Bye!